presence.
In case you couldn't tell by the heavy metal interrupting all the other music they were playing before we went live, this is the Life Radio Show with your host, Don Smith, here in the Wiley's Comedy Studios at WWSU. I always forget to throw that out there. It's free advertisement. I don't know why I don't. Hey, go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Thank you. Sitting in the studio with me today, my last-minute emergency guest co-host who needs no introduction. He was here without a mohawk, and he's probably been on this show almost as often as I have. Scotty Mays.
Hey, so am I like the Alec Baldwin of the Life Radio show? Yes.
Yep, you are the SNL. He's on constantly.
I just need his money now.
There you go. Yeah, that's boy. I as soon as I get Lorne Michaels' money, I'll give you Alec Baldwin's.
Okay,
and we'll be good.
Deal.
Anyway, Scotty's Uber driver is also on
T-Bone in the house.
T-Bone is in the house.
Yes, I am.
And Tyler Carson is back from St. Mary, St. Michael.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasure, as always.
Of course. It's good to have some beard competition in the studio.
Man, I was going to say, it's getting a little tense in here.
I know,
It
careful.
is, yeah.
I get beard envy a lot, so you know, you don't have the mohawk to rock. But,
no, but I might stroke that beard here shortly.
You wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah. Scotty, I thought I was the only.
Am I breathing heavy right now?
Now I will say you're still a young man. I have the silverback beard, so it's still a little
the distinguished.
It's still the alpha
salt and
beard.
pepper.
Now eventually it's going to be challenged by the younger beards, and you know eventually it'll just have to be the wise old elder.
That's right.
That they come to with life's questions.
Right.
So because every beard needs answers.
Welcome to Life Radio.
Yes.
Talk to the beard.
Talk to the beard.
Talk to the beard. There you go.
God, man,
already, man.
I don't
We're not
know.
even
I don't
5
know.
minutes. That's
I'll
close.
write it down because if we're getting there already,
we could be in for a fun night.
This could be because
it was entertaining. That's for sure.
I think that's the first time we've actually come up with the name of the episode, like
Just
less
right
than
off the
3 minutes into the broadcast. So this is it's going to be a good time tonight. I can feel it, and I need it. It's been rough. Although I did find out that I'm gonna have to investigate this. There's going to have to be some investigative journalism here on the Life, because I was walking around the corner to go to the restroom before the show, and a lady walked out of the other room. This is the universal restrooms up there, with an unmarked mason jar full of clear liquid. Brought it out with her. Now, I understand, trying to be environmentally conscious, but at the same time, I recognize moonshine when I see it.
Right. That's immediately what went to my head.
Exactly.
But I'm an alcoholic too, so.
You throw a mason jar out.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a still in there. I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
But it's like, have you ever seen the movie Real Genius?
Yes.
With Val Kilmer?
Yes.
Well, you know how the guy was living in the closet of the college dorm?
Yep. Had to take
down
a
in
little
the steam
coaster
tunnels?
down there.
Yeah, exactly. That's going on over here in the student union basement.
So you think somebody's saving up all their Frito-Lay UCP?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
for...
no, they're just saving all their mason jars and filling it with some pretty good hooch. So
good hooch.
Good,
the good hooch
it's got to be. If it's
this is an institution, but it's not a secured
right
kind of institution. So
somebody from the chemistry lab is down there. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be some
the
hillbilly
Breaking Bad spinoff.
That's not going to be some hillbilly hooch over there. This is going to be actual scientifically perfected.
Yep.
Moonshine.
When you
right
find
here,
it before you report it, help a brother out with a couple bottles. All right?
Oh, if I find it, I might report it eventually, and I'll say I don't know what happened to everything that was here.
It's gone. I don't know.
It was here when I came through, and I don't know what happened, but it'll be in my basement then. Sorry, I told you.
Yeah,
I was
you
gonna have
did.
to do.
You
I
did.
told
You called
you.
that.
I
You're like the
warned you.
Nostradamus of DJs.
Yeah. So what has been going on with St. Mary St. Michael? I see there is a new album on the
A halfway
horizon.
new album.
A halfway new album.
So,
okay.
I may have mentioned this last time, but I have a love affair with the book 1984, George Orwell. What used to be science fiction, I consider to be documentary now.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
But I read it every year, and I've been working on music, concept album, if you will. And so I've been slowly recording songs, trying to put them out. But I took 2 songs from the book. So there are songs written in the book that I've taken, put melody and music to, and recorded those. I reached out. This would have been February. I would have reached out to the 1984 estate. Hey, what kind of licensing do I have to do to put these out? And they were basically like, we're in movie talks, so you'd have to talk to them. And I was like, great. Who's them?
Who's
The
I
You're
didn't get
asking
that.
the 1984 people who's them.
Yeah.
They
The
never
man.
know what
Right,
answer you're
just
going
talk
to
to
get.
them. Who? And they said, I'm not making this up. I got an email that said, well, it's Sony, and they probably wouldn't get back to you anyways. And I'm like, cool.
Fantastic.
Thanks. So in 20 different phone calls I had to make to track down the right person, I got in touch with Sony, and she responded, well, contracts haven't been finalized yet, so we just don't know who can give you permission. Email us back in a couple months, which usually means
Right. Bye. Yeah.
So I emailed back a couple months later, and I actually got a response. Hey, they're still talking. Just to warn you, this could take a while, but I'll try and keep you posted. Email back in a couple months. So I'm still waiting on that. In the meantime, I have on Bandcamp put up most of it for pay what you want, because I can't put it everywhere, because then that costs money, and then I
Right.
have to pay the same amount of money again later to update the album. So that being said, St. Mary St. Michael, search it on Bandcamp. The album is We Were Dead from the Start. And so that's been going on, and that's what I brought you, most of it anyways.
What you could.
What I can. And so, yeah, it's been fun, and I've been playing a lot more. In fact, I've landed a residency at Urban Artifact in October, which is pretty
Awesome.
cool. So every Wednesday night I'll be playing down there. So for those that like drinking craft beer and listening to sad folk songs,
Which, who doesn't?
who doesn't, man?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
beer just makes it even better.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I've been doing a lot of that, and obviously still writing a lot, and on the grind.
So they're starting. The only thing I took from no, I'm kidding. There are talks to making a movie
Yes.
for 1984.
Yes, there are, which I'm stoked, because the last one they made was really old
Yeah,
and
yeah.
watched like it was really old. So I would hopefully they don't try to make it too sexy and keep
Right.
it more, terrifying. That could
Oh
be
yeah.
a horror
Oh,
movie
yeah.
at this point.
It's a disturbing thing.
So,
I love the novel.
yeah.
Had you guys read?
I have
George
not
Orwell?
read it. No.
It's
I have
fantastic.
not, but now I'm interested in
I mean,
reading
I
it.
actually
really
had an
is
idea. I mean,
fantastic.
we can bypass Sony. We can hire a medium to channel Orson Welles, right?
George
Or
Orwell.
George Orwell.
Oh.
Or Orson Welles. That'd
Yeah,
be
that
fun.
too.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
He can
All right.
narrate.
But yeah,
then
hire
Orson
him up.
Welles would
and-
be like, sorry, dude.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I
But no,
tried
that-
to
that- that
look
is-
smart
that is
there, and I
that is a
failed
great novel
epically.
if you
I
ever
wish
get
I
a
could
chance
cuss
to read
right now because I just want
1980.
to,
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're wearing a Misfit shirt. It's close enough to cuss.
Hey, I go where eagles dare.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks.
So what gave you the? Is it just the love affair you've had with 19? Well, not. Hey, the just that you've been such a fan of 1984.
So, what kind of started it, when I first moved up here and started doing my own music again, I wrote a song that was the love story between the main character and
Right.
Winston and Julia. And it was terrible. It was just a bad song. So, whatever. And then I wrote a song.
That's weird because I've never written a bad joke.
You're right. I believe it.
Yeah, me neither.
I know Scotty has.
So I wrote a song called Double Think that ended up being okay. and then reworked Julia and went, okay, well, I'm on to something now. And I originally thought that I would just kind of maybe every couple projects, here's another one, and that would just be one of my things. Hey, every few albums you have another couple 1984 songs. But then I got real into a really, really depressing artist named Radical Face, and his whole thing. I don't know if you remember my tree tattoo from last year. That's influenced by his work, which was telling over 4 albums, telling the story of how one person's decisions affected generations of people. And it was really interesting because instead of relating to the characters, I was really just sitting and listening to a really interesting story. And so I went, what if I did that instead? And then tried to write character stories and that kind of stuff. And then it morphed into a full album, as it were. So it's
cool.
It was fun because it was a departure from my usual ultra sad and more into ironically sad, if that makes sense. The lyrics are really depressing, but the music can be kind of upbeat. And,
well, that can be fun.
I threw it a different direction. That sounds like a love song. Well, it's about 2 people who betrayed each other, and then whatever. So
yeah,
have fun with that.
Betrayal is usually part of a love song.
You're
actually,
right.
Or at least the love song is like the prequel.
Right. Right. I just threw it all into one.
Right.
So,
you just cut right to the chase with the whole love song betrayal combo. So yeah. Because that's usually that's how it always ends.
No, I've had a couple people say, "Hey, listen, you're not big enough for it to be on your radar. Just put it out. It really won't be a big deal." Most likely, yes, but
what if?
Yeah.
Hey, I drop that one song,
right,
and make it big. But my big thing is, hopefully, with movies, you need soundtracks.
Yeah, there you go.
And I don't know that a lot of people have committed that much time to writing 7 songs
about
inspired by the book 1984. Yeah. So, my thought is, best case scenario, they say, hey, we like this song, but we want Taylor Swift to do it. And I went, deal, because she'll make a lot more money off of it than I will. Royalties, baby. That's the plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
But man, she'd ruin it.
So she would, but
it fits her personality.
She'll make right.
It is her story.
She's been betrayed a lot.
I'll say it is her story.
I don't want to hear it. Here, go.
Right, exactly. No, the goal is, she records it and then makes all the money, and then someone goes, wait, she didn't write it. This person wrote it, and it's a better version, and then I piggyback off of that.
Right.
And then.
Right. I believe we discussed Leonard Cohen last time you were here.
We definitely discussed Leonard Cohen.
And yeah, it'd be like Leonard Cohen. There are a lot of people that redid his songs that got him popular, and then everybody heard Leonard Cohen's version and say, man, those other ones are crap.
Yeah, right. Why would I listen to anything else at this
exactly,
point?
Yeah.
By the way, I've been darker.
You want it darker?
And that is an incredible album.
It is.
Per your recommendation, the wife thinks it's a little too dark for her.
It's very dark.
And I love it.
But, that's the thing about that album is this is a guy that, that album was put out like maybe a month before he died.
It passed, yeah.
And if you listen to the album, do you ever listen to Leonard Cohen?
Yeah.
Have you listened to the album, I have not. You Want It Darker, which is his last one? Oh, man, it is fantastic.
Kind of like Johnny Cash's last album when he did all those.
Yes.
It has the same feel. It's really like he's who he is now. And there's no trying to prove anything. He's Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
And you can hear the confidence in his writing, I think. The arrangement's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great album through and through. I really enjoyed it.
He's got a lot of great albums, and that one just amazed me.
Especially for that late in his career.
Right.
So.
Well, let me ask you this. So, you've been talking about a lot of these darker type albums. So, you have a passion for music, right? How do you get into such a depressed type album, right? And that doesn't stick with you. So we had a pretty similar conversation, right? I remember we talked about this last time, but as a comedian, you would know that I always say that music for me, very much like comedy for comedians, is a way to deal with things. Sure, yeah.
And then for me, my go-to when people say, why do you write sad songs? Because, I'm married. Why don't I write love songs? Or, all these kind. And I said, well, when I'm happy,
I thought the answer to why do you write sad songs?
Because I'm married.
End of discussion. That was it.
But honey, if you're listening,
Yep, I said that. He didn't.
But,
honey,
no.
if you're listening,
Honey, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
for being
got you,
honest,
babe.
right? But no, I always say that it's when you're sad, you want to know that someone else understands, right?
Right.
And so it's all my favorite artists have been on that vein of things because when I feel that way, I don't want to listen to happy songs. I want to know that I'm not alone, that kind of stuff. And very much with comedians, it's like, let's make light of something, usually because they're going through that kind of thing. And they, instead of wallow in the depression, it's like their way of coping. And so for me, it's always been, I can live life a little lighter, as it were, because I can get my thoughts out and then they're there. And I don't have to keep dealing with. That's how I process. In fact, I always say the rise of some of this depression and stuff we're seeing. I think it's because we don't process anymore.
Very true.
And I would hate to do with that. So it's my way.
Yeah,
of
and without
processing.
them they'll process through other means.
Exactly.
Right,
So they'll
right.
detach.
Right.
Completely.
Or get into any other sort of substance
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
anything else like that.
Yeah.
And that.
So this is your medicine.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. And I'd like to think that, the 1984 is kind of a unique thing because it was a passion project of mine. But the other songs I write are more, there's some way you can put yourself in the story and go, okay, I know what that feels like. And I'm glad that I'm not the only one. And maybe that helps me process because growing up, that's what music was for me. I'm just always listening. I don't listen to podcasts or I'm just music constantly all the time. Because it helps me get through some of that. So
That's why I can't usually listen to the radio in a car.
right,
Yes.
Because there's too much
you get into the feel, and then all of a sudden,
talking.
Yeah.
on the radio. Wait a minute. But no, that is. I actually I'm so glad my work truck. I'm on the road a lot, so my work truck actually has a USB port.
Oh.
And I have every.
Yep.
Those are a
song.
lifesaver, right?
Oh man, that's fantastic. As soon as I saw that, I was like, ha ha! And
deal.
yeah, I already had like all my music on MP3s on a flash drive and stuck it in there.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're on there. I was
made the
actually.
cut. I made the
I
cut.
think it was Blue 52 was playing on the way out to Jamestown.
That's
today,
been
so.
it's been really funny that I wrote that just to be like a weird album starter, and that's been more than anything what has resonated with people, which I've really enjoyed. It's been fun because that one's. I wrote a song.
Everybody's had that feeling.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's very relatable.
So I wrote a song inspired by the Blue 52 whale, which is scientists are tracking. It calls out at 52 hertz. Doesn't mean anything to the non-musos, but it's a frequency other whales can't hear. So it can't communicate anything with other whales.
Aww.
And I went, that's super sad. There's a song there. And so I took that from the human perspective and was basically the song is, hey, I'm calling out and no one's
Nobody's
here.
listening. Yeah.
So, and that's what the first album
Wow.
took its song or album title from.
I have goosebumps. Like, I love music. I
I'll
think
have to
music
play
is
that. I'll have to
therapy,
play
and
that
that's
during the break.
awesome.
During the break, yeah.
Which I think you played that live
I
in
did
the
play it
studio
last
when you were
time,
here
yeah.
last time.
So, yeah, I got shirts made and the whale and everything. It's been a really interesting. It helps that I really like cello work, and so in the recording there's a lot of beautiful. In fact, like 5 different cello parts, and when I play it live, if I do full band, everyone's like, "Oh, what's that big violin thing?" Well, it's got a name. It's not big violin.
Yeah, the big violin thing.
It's a viola.
Yeah. That's pronounced voila. Jeez, Scotty.
Just failing. You got a sad
See-
song you can write
see
for
what
me to write? I'm failing at life right now.
Yep, see what happens when I stay in the moment.
Oh,
Voila.
man.
Voila. All right, I think we're going
I have to
on
listen
that
to
note,
Rocco
we're-
DeLuca on the way home.
talking about movies is what Aaron Lopez does best.
We are talking about The Greatest Showman, Thor Ragnarok, Love Simon, Hereditary,
With an army of special guests.
Jordan Lopez, Aaron Brewer, Jack Elliott, my good friend Carly.
Special moments you don't want to miss.
The very first ever Drunk Drive-In. We are more looking at the Oscar nominations.
So grab some snacks and a cold drink.
Let's all go to the lobby, refill your drinks.
Every Thursday.
Eventide Entertainment presents The Drive-In.
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host for the week, Mr. Scotty Mays.
Yo, what's up?
And the very musically talented Tyler Carson from St. Mary, St. Michael.
Yep.
And T-Bone
Hi.
on backup microphone.
You know, I'm here if you need me.
Absolutely.
She sounds way sexier than Christy Lee does from Bob and Tom. I'm just going to say that.
I got to agree with you on that. Absolutely.
It's just because he knows he's coming home with me tonight.
Well, look at her. She'll whip my ass if I don't.
Yeah, there you go with donkey again. All right. Should we...
I don't know. Do we need to regain our composure from listening to that beautiful?
That was
But yes,
beautifully
I
sad
listened to that on
song?
the way out to Jamestown. Wow. It was,
You
Dude,
had to
that's
be all in
intense,
your
man.
purpose, listening to that. Did you?
I sing along.
Right in
With
her
the window
porpoise.
down. In my porpoise.
Right in her porpoise.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, well. I have to breathe out my blowhole later.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Okay.
On
Cool.
Facebook Live.
Yeah. You'd be surprised who my friends are. They're a mess.
That's true. That's true. Someone would be like, hey, Scotty's breathing out his blowhole again.
Not again.
As long as he's Facebook Live it, we're good.
Okay.
Pixar didn't happen, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. If it wasn't on Facebook Live, it didn't happen.
That's right.
That's
And if it's not on Twitter, it's fake news.
fake news.
All right, we'll hit some non-fake news. This is all real stuff.
News.
This is real news, real important, real,
Real.
really,
Is it real?
really. A mountain lion broke into a California wildlife sanctuary and killed 2 peacocks before being confronted.
Oh, no. Come on, man.
Mountain lions are cougars. So a cougar killed 2 peacocks.
Yeah, it
There's,
did.
Yes.
I see that happen in a bar pretty regularly.
Before being confronted on camera by the ranch's owner. The Skydog Sanctuary, located at Skydog Ranch in Malibu, posted a video to Facebook showing owner Claire Staples' encounter with the mountain lion she spotted Thursday morning when she went to feed her animals. The facility is primarily a horse sanctuary, but also houses other animals, including 2 peacocks. Well, it did. That normally inhabit the enclosure that now inhabit a mountain lion, where or a cougar, yeah, where Staples
With a
discovered the
mouthful
cougar
of
with mouthful of
peacocks.
Staples in the video, Staples says to the mountain lion, "What are you doing in there? You ate my peacock."
No.
You know why that news story is.
All right. Hey, Lori Graves. Did we establish it's called a gaggle, right?
Yes, a gaggle.
A gaggle.
Gaggle.
A gaggle of peacocks.
Oh,
Or a bag. It might have
It's
been
a bag of
peacocks.
A bag
Yeah.
of
it's
peacocks.
a bag.
It's
The
a bag
mountain
of
lion was
peacocks.
eating a bag
Mauled
of
by,
peacocks.
mauled by a cougar.
Yeah. Well, it was just 2, so it just would have been a sack.
He's like, yeah. And you're like, why are you so salty?
Salty peacocks.
Man. Whew. Dude, you knew what you
Off
were
to
doing
a
when you
good
started.
That's a strong
He's
start.
been
what you were
anxiously
doing.
waiting for that. Here it comes.
God
Actually,
bless you, my
forgot
child.
That one was up there to start off with because you weren't even my original guest co-host. That just worked out fabulously.
God works in mysterious
Yeah.
ways.
I don't think Ed John would have gotten nearly as
No,
much
he
out
wouldn't
of
even
that
be here
story.
yet. He'd
Yes.
still be late.
It's true. He's weeks late now because he's not coming at all. Yeah. That happened.
Thanks for that.
Real news.
Yeah.
Well, now that song's stuck in my head.
Which one?
Let me see your peacock.
Oh, that's a song.
Well, that's
I was
colorful.
like, Scotty's right there.
Warner Brother next time.
Yeah. Right. Man, at least let me turn the camera around.
Oh, police in Washington, D.C. say they have seized a 5-foot caiman, an alligator cousin, from a basement on the south side of the district. Police said they were accompanied by personnel from the Humane Rescue Alliance, not the Humane Society, that's their counterpart. The Humane Rescue Alliance. They're actually at war with the
Right.
we're the Alliance. We're the Humane Society wasn't doing it good enough, so we're rebelling against. We're the Humane Rescue Alliance. On Wednesday, when they acted on a tip and served a search warrant on the home, investigators found the 5-foot caiman, which police initially mistook for an alligator. Really? Is it going to be that big of a difference?
Oh, it's just a caiman. We're good, fellas.
Oh, well, fine. We won't even cuff him. Anyway, the alligator being kept in a 4-foot tub, a 5-foot alligator in a 4-foot tub, or caiman. Sorry.
Oh, right. This was a pet.
Yes, in the basement of a house. Police also seized several dogs and paraphernalia believed to be related to an illegal dog fighting. If you bring a caiman to a dog fight, that's an illegal dog fight. That's terrible.
It all makes sense now. That's how they were probably getting rid of the, I hate to say it, but like the dogs that lost, the dead dogs, they were feeding it to the caiman.
The caiman.
I really think somebody was dumb enough to think that was just a scaly dog.
Just leaving it in a tub in your basement.
Exactly, yeah. Why? Would you want it upstairs?
No,
I wouldn't let a caiman sleep at the foot of my bed.
I mean,
I don't care how well it did fighting against that dog.
Right.
I would not let it sleep at the foot of my bed.
it would feel all scaly on your feet and everything. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Well, besides,
like, babe, is that your feet or is
feet.
that the pet? I'm a little confused right now.
Yep. Well, it has to have been the pet. I don't have any feet left.
Right.
After letting a caiman sleep at the foot of my bed. No offense, Dale. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. A Japanese startup is offering an unusual service for newlyweds. See, we're going with a love story now.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
Here's a song inspiration for you.
Exactly. A Japanese startup is offering an unusual service for newlyweds to celebrate their love, launching wedding plaques into space. Warp Space, a firm founded by faculty members from the University of Sabuku, is offering a service that will print titanium plaques with the names of the newlyweds and load them onto a series of small cubes that each hold a few hundred plaques. That's an awful lot. That's like a small thing. That's, a few hundred plaques. They load them into small cubes that each hold a few hundred plaques. They're going to make a fortune off of stupid people. The cubes will then be released into space by the crew of the International Space Station, and couples will be presented with photos snapped by the astronauts. What proof could they possibly have that those photos are of their plaque that's small enough that several hundred go out on that cube?
They're way out there. That's yours.
Can they aim it to the star that I bought and named? Can it go towards there?
Yeah. I want it to hit this. I want it to land on the acre of moon that I own.
Exactly. Right. If they can get that done, I'm on board. I'd say let's
exactly.
do it.
Yeah, but I'd want to find it. I'd want it to go into orbit and then have them find my little cube and bring it back after being.
In fact, if anything, instead of launching in space, like attach it to the outside of the space station. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just launch it.
Wreck the space station. It would melt.
It would melt. That's funny.
Yeah, that's just
nothing
one
says
more
love
thing.
like spending probably several $100s to launch a tiny titanium plaque into space.
Actually, it's brilliant, and here's why: women will eat this up, and guys, all you need to do is print a certificate that says you did this. little bit of ink,
Look,
one
honey,
sheet
I
of
did
paper, you're good to go.
I did the
for a
thing.
year.
And then just get a grainy picture of of space.
No.
What do you think?
No. He
Look,
knows
honey, you
me
see
well
that
enough.
spec?
Like, that's
It's hard to
not-
see, but that's the plaque. You just it's in space, so you can't see it very well. But it's
Our
there.
love is now officially out of this world.
Yeah, don't puke on the microphone,
You
Scotty.
see, that's why that's just not who I am. I don't know. I'm not speaking for all females, but yeah, that's not
Okay.
necessary.
Well, yeah, not all, but
You spent how much?
Right?
You could have just taken me out to a steak dinner.
Like, we'll go find some wet cement, and I'll let you just write your name and then
Yes!
Yeah.
That I like.
Yeah, get right down there. Put your face print.
We'll
That's
visit
love.
it back in 5 years, see if it's still there.
Well, the idea is you put your face print in there, and then you have it as like a mold. You can make reproductions.
that'd be
You
creepy.
have the T-bone face print. I don't even know where to go from
I
that.
don't know. I shot my wad on the peacock story, so I'm still over here trying to recover.
Anyway, a woman got the fright of her life when she woke up to find a 3-foot snake snuggled up. Snuggled up
There we
next
go.
to her
Now
in
I'm
bed.
recovered.
The royal python, believed to be an escaped pet, had curled up next to her as she slept. After jumping out of bed, she rushed out of her bedroom and closed the door before calling RSPCA for help the next morning. This is in London.
That's another alliance, it sounds like.
Yes, but this one's a British alliance, so it's kind of ineffective. However, by the time the charity animal collection officer Jill Sanders arrived in her flat in Kensington, West London, the snake had slithered away and could not be found. I think she made it up.
Mm-hmm.
She's got
Or she realized she bought that at a store and was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember what that is.
Oh, it was rattling because the end was loose.
Yes.
I don't know where
Yeah.
it ran.
Yeah.
It ran away. I don't know.
Yeah, she found the package later on. Oh, the royal python. Now I
Oh, that makes
Here's
sense.
the receipt. Now, where did that go? It'll be a lonely night. Exactly. I apologize. You realize you're on Facebook Live with this too. That's
Pleasure to be back.
There's no running from it.
I mean, it is flooded with 2 people. So,
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
we're good. How
That is
many,
amazing.
what's your,
They took it away.
no.
It was depressing too many of the DJs that care about those
Right.
sorts of things. Like, no,
Nobody likes me.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
whale.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
that's the theme song for WWSU right now. Especially during the summer because there's no one here.
No one.
I'm going to make that my new opener.
Are you there?
Didn't think so, and then I'll just stop. By the end of the World Dog Surfing Championships on Saturday in Pacifica, California, it was no surprise who won the medal, unless you don't follow dog surfing.
I was going to say, I might be pleasantly surprised here in a minute.
Abbey Girl, an Australian Kelpie rescue.
Not Atta Girl, but Abbey Girl.
Right, Abbey Girl.
Mm-hmm.
With a real knack for riding a wave. She won the Special Spirit of Surfing Award for her performance and her dedication to the sport. I'm sure the dog is really dedicated.
You put me on the board of the middle of the ocean. I had nowhere to go.
Exactly. I'm going to surf till I hit land. I'm going to try not to get, Oh, but she only won the Abbey Girl only won the 3rd place honors in the medium-sized dogs category. There are more categories than just
one
a
category.
dog on a surfboard. Well, yeah, they're very dedicated to the sport. Owner Michael Yulee got his buddy to the contest even though he had broken his foot. I'm assuming Michael broke his foot. I'm assuming he didn't break the dog's foot, so you're gonna surf. Right. I'm assuming
he's got to go for the sob story. The dog broke the foot and still surf.
He got the dog to surf by threatening him with a 5-foot caiman.
At least it wasn't a 3-foot snake.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
The royal hypo. Gidget, a pug who does turns on her board and has 70,000 Instagram fans, grabbed top honors as best little dog surfer. Second place for partnering with Prince Dude Man. And
that's
the
original.
Go Nuts Top Dog Award. That's
the donuts?
Go Nuts.
The Go Nuts.
The Go Nuts.
Dave.
Way to go,
Yep,
Prince
there you
Dude
go.
Man.
Prince Dude Man.
You got the Go Nuts.
Whoa, up there with Gidget.
Gidget.
Yep, Gidget and Prince Dude Man teamed up. I made him do it with my 5-foot caiman.
I like how you just exhale.
You have to every now and then. It's like I have to do another one of these. I don't even want to do the next one because I think we're above that.
Really?
But I'm doing it anyway. As criminal accusations go, this one's pretty crappy. Florida man is accused of
That's Florida.
A Florida man is accused of dumping a bucket containing human feces inside a St. Petersburg. Hello. The special district of St. Petersburg. In a 7-Eleven, Damian A. Sims' alleged act of criminal caca happened early Wednesday. He, quote, apparently obtained waste from a portable toilet.
Who?
Or just anywhere in Florida.
Yeah, just
any waterway in
anywhere.
Florida smells just the same. The 41-year-old Sims was ID'd by a store manager and recorded on surveillance video, according to the police report. It's possible the alleged bowel movement bucket dump was an act of revenge. Police report notes that Sims was banned from the store in May. It took him that long to gather.
I'll be back for my revenge.
You just wait. It's hit Taco Bell. Yeah, we're above that.
You got to dig deep in them porta johns to get a bucket of.
Yeah, Florida. It's Florida.
T-Bone has a fear of them.
Florida man, oh my.
T-Bone's terrified of porta potties.
I don't blame her.
There
is nothing.
She thinks
nice
there's like
about
some
it.
hidden hand that's going to come up there and grab her and pull her in.
something. It's just gross, period. It smells.
Well, yeah.
It's bad. It's way too open for me. I've seen movies. Not doing it. Not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They're not. I'll hold it till I get somewhere a little safer than
the tree outside. Is safer.
I'll just go behind the bush.
Yeah. Somebody basically set a plastic box on top of a hole full of crap.
Yeah, all right.
And said, here you go.
I'll risk being seen. It's fine.
Perfectly sanitary.
We spray it out every couple weeks. You're good.
Yeah, every couple weeks, months, it fills up. We just take a big hose and siphon it. Oh, wow.
Huh.
Moment of silence
for John.
Radio listeners everywhere. I'm so sorry. Goats are not often recognized as being the most intrepid of creatures, but these goats are aiming to change the goat game. Not the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
not that goat.
Okay.
These are the goats.
These are
the goats of the goats.
On Friday, a neighborhood in the west side of Boise, Idaho, was taken over by about 100 of them, according to KTVB. That is the dumbest call letters I've ever heard. According to KTVB reporter Joe Paris. Who are these goats? Where did they come from? What propelled them to go rogue? KTVB, I hate that name, noted that the animals were, quote, snacking on lawn and flower bushes and stripping the leaves from trees, as goats are wont to do. The outlet discovered that the goats appear to belong to the company We Rent Goats, which aptly rents out herds of goats for people to use to clear weeds and help with fire suppression on private land and public property.
Fire suppression? As in, we just eat the stuff.
They probably do like a fire line
eat
kind of deal.
That's a good buy. Yeah. That guy knows how to market. Yeah. Why should you buy goats? Well, they'll get rid of weeds.
Yeah. Hey, we rent them.
And they they'll suppress fires.
What's the name of your company? We Rent Goats.
We Rent Goats.
Till they get loose. And apparently they take over town in Boise, Idaho, because nobody else wanted it.
Yeah.
it's like all the people that were there saw it and were like, here they come. Yeah, we were thinking of moving anyway.
It's fine.
The goats can have it. We're good. We've spent our time in Idaho. We can move on. Yeah. So eventually the whole state of Idaho is just going to be
Please, no,
goats.
Don't take over. Dang it.
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah, don't take Idaho goats.
Don't use the potatoes.
Idaho's
Yeah.
Idaho.
Potatoes. Sorry, a little Irish.
Yeah, that
comes
was
out
good.
in you
That was
every time
good.
I hear
Yeah.
potatoes. I do that to my wife all the time. Every time she says she's good, you want me to make you a potato? Potatoes. She says you're stupid. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am. Glad you picked up on that after all these years. Do we want to stop news and
I'd like
see
to
if
hear
we
him
can
sing a damn
see if
song.
maybe we
Okay.
can convince him to sing a
Yeah.
song and save us from my news stories? That would be great.
The first one was the best, man. I never recovered
That's,
from it.
well, yeah. Once you have a sack of
Man, it's hard to recover from that.
Yep. Well, a cougar and a sack of peacocks. That's all the news story.
You just can't make that up.
Nope, not at all. And you don't want to. But we're going to go ahead and turn it over to when you're ready. When you're ready, I'm not going to rush you. If you got to warm up a little bit.
The song. I did Blue. We just heard Blue 52.
Right,
All of
yeah,
its
yeah.
arranged glory.
Was that what you were planning to play again? So you don't
I was
want
gonna do. I was gonna pull a couple of the new ones potentially.
Okay.
I got. We've got. Okay. Do you guys want like sarcastic political commentary or another sad story? Sarcastic.
Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, we can go sarcastic.
So this one's Double Think. This was as I pay attention. Well, I have to stop paying attention to the news sometimes. It's just not even worth it anymore. But the idea of double think, holding two opposing views at the same time, even though they don't line up, and you do it anyways. So this is Double Think on the Halfway Out, We Were Dead from the Start album. All right. On my levels, I kind of tried so you could get.
Yeah, I think you're all right
Making
there.
noise, all
yeah.
right. I don't know what to believe. I'm sure that I can find it somewhere on TV. It doesn't have to go along with anything else when I don't know right or wrong. Even if they're contradicting views, it all makes sense as long as you don't think it through. I don't care what you believe, provided that we don't ever disagree. I try to keep an open mind. Until you argue, then I'll fight it every time. It makes no difference what you might say. I've already closed myself off to any other way. I don't care if my logic's out of sync. It doesn't matter when you can double think. Black or white, it's the same to me. Up or down, it's the same to me. I don't care
Hey, nice.
All right.
There it is.
Nice job.
Awesome. That brought the show back to focused. Now
Right,
we're good.
exactly.
Now we're good. No more poop jokes and bad news stories.
Oh,
We don't care either way.
Right, hold on.
No, we won't even. Do you have any shows coming up that you want to go ahead and plug?
I do actually. If you're into the small songwritery intimate show, those are around the Hamilton area. I'm playing in True West Coffee with a couple other fantastic songwriter friends of mine. I go by the name Night Owl and Jobin. So they will be having a good time with that. That's August 17th, which is actually next Friday. That'll be super fun. And then the only other ones on the plan right now, because I'm really bad about planning out. But as I said, in October, I'll be doing a residency at Urban Artifact. That's more in the city of Cincinnati. But every Wednesday, I will be playing a show, and each show will be different for reasons. And
For reasons, as long as
they'll be different.
always
And
a
there's-
reason. Always a reason.
But if you want to follow along St. Mary, St. Michael, I'm everywhere on the social medias. And stmarystmike.com. And don't squeeze my head. Sorry, he's squishing my
Scotty,
head.
behave yourself. Don't squish our guests.
Sorry.
But yeah, you can follow me along there. I keep things pretty updated. I play a lot of breweries, so for those that like drinking beer, I like playing where there's beer nearby. I find typically I say that if you don't like what I'm doing, drink a couple beers. I start to sound a lot better.
Oh yeah, well, it's just like comedy. I'm a lot funnier. I'm a lot funnier.
Exactly.
when people are drunk.
I know some of those comedy places don't. Some of them require drinks, and so I need to start doing that. Like if
2 drink
Yeah,
minimum.
2 drink minimum.
2 drink minimum to listen to.
Yeah, to listen to St. Mary, St. Michael.
That's right.
Yeah, the 2 drink minimum of the saints.
Exactly.
That's, yeah.
Amen.
Sounds like I'll be taking my sponsor to his shows. I need some support tonight. Apparently he's very sad. I might get triggered.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
A pleasure having you again. And I apologize for all of those news stories.
I am not sorry for.
Yeah,
No way,
Scott's
man.
not sorry. Scott's not sorry because he didn't read all of them out.
I don't
Yeah,
have
I'm the one
I don't
that
have
picks
roadies
these.
and techies that can tune all of my guitars, so I have a lot of dead time on the stage, and so I gotta practice my witty comedy banter. So
Well, there you go. There you go. Do not use these news stories.
Absolutely
I
not.
don't know, dude. The first one might work. Did you guys hear about the cougar and peacocks?
The peacock.
Sounds like a really inappropriate Aesop's fable kind of thing.
The cougar and the peacock.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Another potential.
I think we found it. I think you found it.
I was going to say, Talk to the Beard was a good name. The Cougar and the Peacocks.
Yep. Beautiful. Well played, sir.
I like
well
it.
played.
Yeah. You're
We got T-Bone's approval.
okay.
T-Bone likes
okay.
it.
Mark it.
T-Bone says, okay, the Cougar and the Peacocks.
That'll be my
Copyright
next
movie
band.
coming soon, right?
Yeah.
I go see that.
Cougar and the Peacocks.
Now playing.
First track is "Let Me See Your Foreskin."
Oh, there it is. There it
Wait,
is.
we have to pretend that we have to play through it.
Right,
So yeah,
play through
anyway.
what? Okay.
Well, I don't know. We have to talk through like nothing ever weird happens.
Yeah, the Cougar and the Peacocks. That was like a collaboration with Joe Cocker and.
Well,
let's
they
think,
traveled with Josie and the Pussycats.
Stevie Nicks
Stevie
and
Nicks.
Joe Cocker was the Cougar and the Peacocks.
Yeah.
Back in,
Don't
back
sit
in
here and
the
say you
90s.
wouldn't buy that album right
Oh,
now.
I absolutely would. It's Joe Cocker and Stevie Nicks.
right.
Who's not gonna? Because I love Stevie Nicks' voice and I love Joe Cocker's motions.
Speaking of motions, I just saw Radiohead on stage.
Oh wow!
I've never seen them live, and they were phenomenal. But the thing that stood out the most was Tom York's movements on stage.
Yeah.
He's on something,
Ha-
and
have
I
you-
want to
have
know.
you
I
ever
want to be a
seen-
part of it.
Have you ever seen Joe Cocker perform live?
I haven't seen Joe Cocker
yes.
perform
man.
live.
Yeah.
It was actually so crazy that it was John Belushi. Well, a year
He
ago I
nailed
shaved
that.
my beard off and I did a for the what was it, the Dead
Comics
Comics
tribute
tribute show.
Oh, okay.
I actually did a version of John Belushi making fun of Joe Cocker, and I sang A Little Help from My Friends,
Right.
flipping around. I think I still got the scar from falling off the stage while I was doing it, because that
You're
it was
dedicated
one of
to your
those things.
craft.
I was right on the edge, and I thought I could commit to this bit, or I could play it safe, and I just went right off the side of the stage because I had to. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, Google or get on YouTube and check out John Belushi as Joe Cocker.
John Belushi as Joe
There was
Cocker.
actually, back in the 70s when Belushi was on SNL, when it was funny,
Right.
he was actually performing as Joe Cocker on stage when Joe Cocker came up next to him and started singing as well. And the movements were fantastic.
Move over, Jimmy Kimmel. Step aside, Conan O'Brien. Back off, Stephen Colbert. It's my turn. I'm Mike Shea, and every Tuesday on my show, Mike Talks Funny, I sit down and talk with comedians, actors, film fans, podcasters, anybody willing to get down, get deep, and get dirty.
I don't remember the first time I had sex. That was horrible. I didn't even finish the first time I had sex.
I've tasted what most comics want, and now I have to go back and eat the leftovers.
You're so brave for wearing that shade of lipstick on stage. Oh my God.
Think of Last Comic Standing, and Mystery Science Theater 3000 had a baby, and that's the show.
My online doppelganger is also a larger black man. He is Adrian Miller. All the top results are he's a professor.
Interviews with great people, not to mention all kinds of awesome new music every show.
Hey, this is Don Smith.
This is Scotty Mays.
Hey, this is Kevin Goatee with Comics Watching Comics.
Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Now, you've been staring over that edge for hours. And people die down there. And dying when you're not really sick is really sick, you know? Really.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show. We traded everybody out. Tyler Carson's headed on down the road. Titus Wayne is now sitting in the studio with us.
Look at that beautiful haircut.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scotty, by the way, Scotty Mays is still in as guest co-host for the week. What's with the hat and the do-rag? I don't even get to see. You got rid of the mohawk, and you're not even showing it off.
Oh, well, I mean, there's
Are you
really
ashamed?
nothing to see.
I've never seen you without the mohawk. So.
I'm pretty sure you have.
No.
I'm pretty sure you noticed the...
I've seen it flat.
Yeah.
I've seen you with your deflated mohawk because you didn't really take the time to pretty yourself up before you came on the radio show with me.
Well...
You should just do it all the way up, like Guile from Street Fighter.
Yeah, pull that mic closer. You gotta
put that in your mouth.
Okay,
yeah.
Like you really gotta.
You're a comic. You ever used a mic before? Perfect. Yeah. You were listening to the last hour of the show.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I could pick it up, I was already on 106.9. That's my FM transmitter for my car.
Oh, okay.
I had to shut it off so I could.
Oh, so it was such a dead channel where you live that you went ahead. Nobody uses this one,
right?
And you. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
106.9 used to also be my dead channel for my Mr. Microphone back in the day. So
Mr. Microphone
served many purposes.
It's really hasn't changed so much from the Mr. Microphone days. That's pretty much what I've got right here. It's just
we're not even broadcasting; it's just reverb.
Yeah, welcome to the Mr. Microphone Show. So, Titus, welcome aboard. This is your first time you made it in.
Yeah.
You don't have Facebook.
Welcome.
No, I don't.
I don't blame you, but you know.
Congratulations.
Right,
yes.
But you miss out on things like this.
Yeah.
It is a cesspool negativity.
It really is.
Yes.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You got to try to drown that negativity out. You know, I just it's hard to do sometimes. It really is because Facebook. You're right. It absolutely is. And I use Facebook for two things.
Right.
Advertising the show and the club.
Yeah.
And something to read in the bathroom.
Keeping no, because I can't get my computer in there. Keep in contact with movie contacts and comedy contacts. That's the only. I don't get on there and cruise through and see what people are saying, and that's
no. Because that's how you get in trouble.
Had you worried for a second.
I was like, we're going to get one hell of a show now.
Yeah, and
But no,
anytime you get one
yeah.
of those long opinionated paragraphs, especially with the political climate.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a do-rag, by the way. All right, it's just a bandana. I'm not trying to sport any waves or anything like that. I don't want anybody to get jealous.
Yeah, my bad.
No, John, it's just a
Did
bandana.
he say a dog rag?
No, a do-rag.
Oh, I can't see.
Do-rag.
Yeah, that's
you got glasses on.
they're just for show. Those are his fake glasses. Yeah, but it's a look he's going for, not the sight.
No.
No, the hairstyle looks like the county jail starter kit. You know, it's just like a little fade right now.
Oh,
But,
yours? Okay.
Yeah, it's a new vision. I'm growing it all out, so it's going to take a little bit of time.
You're growing. So you're going for the hippie look. You're going for the long
I
hair.
wouldn't. No,
It's definitely not hippie-ish.
No. Well, not now.
No,
Well, he
nor
said
will
he was
it
letting
be.
it grow out.
It won't even be that.
Oh,
either.
okay. So you'll just
have to wait and see, man.
Okay. I can't wait. I'm very impatient.
Well, I'm all about instant gratification too. Today is actually a milestone for me in my recovery.
Really?
I have not had a donut in like 4 weeks.
Oh,
And
man.
Recovery from carpal tunnel.
Yes. Well, recovery from donuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Tell me,
an
man.
addiction, man.
Whew.
That's So you how were you taking your donuts when you were really hooked?
How was I
What's
taking them?
Yeah.
Intravenously?
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can melt donuts too. You've never shot up a donut? Come on.
That's
You ain't
how you
lived.
know you're really addicted to them.
You ain't lived until you injected some Boston cream in your veins.
Yeah, what a ride!
Mainline that Danish.
Right.
Nobody does Danishes anymore. That's so outdated. Jeez. You know, Danishes aren't even addictive. No,
It's a gateway pastry. I'll give you that. Start off with Danishes.
Yeah, I mean they're legal
crawlers.
in most of the states anymore,
John
at least
says hi.
medicinal.
Hi, John. John Morris.
John
what's up?
Morris. John Morris is.
Love you, John Morris.
Everybody on Facebook.
Yeah, let's
I
talk
once
to
again
Facebook.
grace your
So, how long you been doing comedy? Just out of curiosity.
2 years
And to fill time
about
on this.
3 months.
2 years and 3 months.
Yeah.
What got you started? Just
Late spring, early summer of 2016, I was just really depressed and happened to be reading Napalm and Silly Putty by George Carlin. And I just kind of had the idea that, hey, maybe if I can make other people laugh, that'll kind of make up for the depressed person that I am most of the time. You know, it was kind of my way of like, hey, I can do something about this.
your levels are really low.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
I need to get
There you
even
go.
closer to
Yeah,
this.
right.
Okay.
You need to
Uncomfortably
you need to be
close.
intimate. You need to be impotent. Impotent.
I need to be impotent?
No, don't.
You need to be impotent.
I mean, that would I get in trouble a
That'll
lot
happen
with
in
women.
time.
So
Yeah,
that'll
you'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
that'll probably help.
Take it from Scotty.
You will take it from Scotty.
Anyway, well, I see you're wearing your key around your neck. Is that the Cal key? Is
That
that
is-
the
it
key
is the
to
Cal
the
key,
Dayton
yes.
City of comedy?
Cal Westra, yes, he's the saint, patron saint of Dayton comedy,
Yes,
as they
yes.
say.
Yes.
Yeah, he's. I mean, even early on, I think I wrote my first solid closer because of something that Cal had said. Because he would go to all the open mics that they.
Right.
Well, they used to have an open mic at Wiley's called Super Secret back in the day.
Yes, back on Thursday nights.
Thursday
Yeah.
nights, yeah.
And Cal would be there, and it was just something I threw out like in a second. And Cal he's like, I was thinking, it would be funny, because like those are going to be really like it's about pleasure robots was the.
I remember that.
I believe we've
I
discussed.
remember that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all thanks to Cal.
All right. Well, there you go. Cow and the pleasure robots.
Yeah.
Hey, you better write that down.
That's a good band name.
That might be doable. Cow and the pleasure robots.
In the not too distant future.
Not call. I was putting down call the pleasure. Yep.
Call the pleasure.
Yep. Call the pleasure robots. I'll be home soon.
She's like, I started without you.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Pleasure robot.
It was a 3-foot.
Yeah. The Royal Python. That's the callback to the last hours.
Ah. an in-joke that I wasn't a part of. But
That's
I laughed
okay.
Anyway.
Well,
that's all right.
it was still funny.
Yeah.
Because, it was just
in
the
that
voice.
awkward, uncomfortable way. Like, I don't know what's going on, and you guys are putting things in my face. And
Okay.
Well, it was a story about a 3-foot python.
Ah. Okay.
Now Scotty's thing.
Calm down, T-Bone. I'll put something in your face later. Jeez. Come on.
She had that expectant look.
I was sending her 52 decibels, but she couldn't hear me. So.
Well.
See, too many inside jokes.
Sorry, Titus.
That's all right.
That's what happens when you don't listen.
I'm
to the show.
You're right.
Because you're the only person that doesn't listen to this show.
Right. No, I've been missing out. It's just like Game of Thrones. I'm the only person who doesn't watch that either.
Me neither.
I don't
Really?
watch
Yeah, I
that.
have not watched a single episode.
I have
Me
never
finally.
watched either. So,
Someone else.
But
Okay.
you will.
I'm in the right
Have
room
you?
then.
Oh, yeah.
She is obsessed
So 1
with
out
it.
of 4.
Yeah.
Well, a quarter of the people here watch that.
So I have 3
Against me,
lovely
yeah.
gentlemen total.
It's all right. We'll make it a
2
party.
lovely.
I'll make it
One.
a
I have
party.
nothing
Really,
against
I don't
it.
know.
I just haven't seen it.
Just talking now.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
There's so many.
Is it on Netflix though?
No.
Okay, then I'm not
HBO
gonna see
Go, HBO. I don't know.
There
That's
you
how
go.
they
Pay
get
for
you.
that.
That's how they get you.
Exactly. Yeah, because they put all the shows you. I don't care.
You know, you should set a webcam up in here and just do a live feed with your webcam as well.
Why?
While you're doing the podcast.
Well, then people would see me though.
Yeah.
It would ruin the whole because my voice is sexy.
It really is.
You know,
It
and
really
once
is.
if my beard could cover the rest of my face, I would be too because I just have the.
You'd
sexy
look like
beard.
the old school Warner
Cousin
Brothers
Ed.
Wolfman.
Oh, I was going a different way.
Yeah, that's okay. That works too.
Oh, yeah. Either way, it's big hairy thing is what.
That's my nickname.
What I've been called.
Big hairy thing.
I wait a little more.
Did you? Was there a weight loss story like so many other comedians that we know that?
Not really. I was just pudgy in high school, and then started doing drugs and hanging out with the wrong crowd, and it just started falling off.
No,
so.
well, it's a good weight loss program.
Cocaine's a
It
wonderful
really
drug.
is.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
really ups the metabolism there.
Yeah.
Yeah, crack stem diet. I'll tell you what.
We were supposed to receive a call, but we haven't got a call coming in.
Oh no.
Well, Stewart Huff was supposed to call in
Oh, man.
a few minutes ago. and
That would have
I
been
think
way
we
more
missed,
fun than
yeah.
me.
Well, that's
All
why I
of
had
us.
to call.
right.
I said, well, "Can you call in?" Right? Because this
kid's gonna be a bummer, man.
That's not right at all. You didn't come on here for this kind of abuse, did you?
I'm not sure.
You're not
Yeah, you
sure.
didn't know
You're
what
not
to
sure
expect.
why you come on.
It's my initiation, right? I
There
figure.
you go. There
yeah.
you go. Yeah, it's
hazing.
It's a friendly hazing though, because we all. It's like the comic world in general. We all
Right.
haze each other.
See, like,
Except
we're-
every now and then you have a real idiot show up at an open mic that he's not actually going up on, and then were you there for that?
Oh,
idiot?
you mean the couple past Sundays where the
Yeah,
gentleman thought
yeah.
that he was on the show and
And was going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to get paid. Yeah, do we get paid for this? Absolutely.
That guy was
Yeah, you get those.
he was an
every now
eccentric
and then,
among
yes.
eccentrics. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah, that's. Did you miss that one, Scotty?
No, I was following it through the feed. Everybody's reaction. I miss all the good Sunday night shows. A lot of crap's gone on to where I haven't really been able to make it out to a lot of things that I'd like to be at right now. But
Yeah.
my comedy game has kind of taken a back seat the past couple months. But I got some shows coming up, and I'm getting ready to get back into the swing of things. You know,
Really?
so.
Where's your next shows at?
The next one is actually going to be up in Chillicothe at Jerry's Pizza with Lori. That's August 24th. And then there's a rumor that I may be. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Somebody's calling me right now.
Of course, because you're in the
Anyway,
middle of something. Maybe that's the call that I was supposed to.
I'm supposed to be at Wiley's Sunday the 26th.
Oh, okay.
I'm closing that out. And
Cool.
then September 28th is a huge show with Mark Lungholm. He's a comedian, and he's part of the Addicts Recovery Tour.
Oh, cool.
And that's been one of my goals, was to share a stage with him. And that dream's actually coming true. Doesn't really say much about my career, but
yeah, that's okay.
It's I get to check
Baby
it off
steps.
the list.
Yeah. Because I actually get to host a car show, like charity auction or something.
So
coming up
in
that
Brookville?
same Sunday.
Is that in Brookville?
No, I believe it's right up here, like the Holiday Inn.
Because
across
a
the way
lady
here.
I actually referred you to.
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to see what happens with that, because I've never done anything like that. So, and I'm not big on crowd work.
No, me neither.
But I won't be doing. It's not like I'm going to go up there and do material. I'm going to be hosting an auction.
Right.
And she wanted somebody that could get the crowd involved and kind of get more. So it should
you,
be a good.
Are you going to
thing.
be the guy like speed delivering the numbers as they?
No,
bet,
I
or?
don't think I could do that.
Okay.
I can just go.
That's basically it, right?
That's
You
pretty
just
much
throw
what
like a
they
5
do.
after
Yeah,
everyone.
it's 5. And we got a winner.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a phone call coming in.
All right. Don't screw
Let's
this
see
up.
don't screw this up. Hopefully the phone works. This is the life. You're on the air.
Good to know. Good to know.
Awesome. Hey, you're on our headphones, but you're.
I like that. Just immediately, you're on the air. Don't say anything that'll get us fired.
Exactly.
This
Sorry,
is Stewart Huff.
Talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah, do you guys have headphones over there?
It's not
You
on
have
there.
The headphones going on. So that's. Oh, never mind. I might be all right.
Oh, did he hang up?
Hello?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Well, somebody had the cue turned all the way down, so we couldn't hear your voice throughout the studio, only with the headphones, and we have a limited number, so I have other guests sitting around staring at each other. So,
brought a deck of
Stewart
cards,
Huff,
or-
how's it going?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That's probably the best phone answering I've ever heard.
Well, yeah,
You're on the air.
we like to live on the edge. 'Cause
Yeah.
you never know who's going to call. We did an impromptu interview with a rapper that called in asking if he could set up an interview, and I said, well, you're on the air. What do you want? And we've had wrong numbers before. That's always fun. So, yeah. It's
You didn't want to just bleep the first 8 minutes.
Right. Well, that's the problems. I don't have an answering service. It's just me.
You ever take somebody's Chinese takeout order over the air?
Oh, we should. Yeah. If somebody called it in, I would. I'd do the accent, but that would be racist. But I'd do it anyway. Otherwise, they'd just throw the whole scam off.
Well, I mean, Hank Azaria did one for 30 years, and nobody.
That's true. So, hey, Stewart Huff, how's it going? Well, I already asked that.
It's good. How are you guys over there in Dayton?
We're good. Looking forward to this weekend. You're going to be at Wiley's.
Going to be at Wiley's again. One of my favorite clubs. The place is a filthy mess, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's home sweet home.
Absolutely. That's my club you're talking about.
I know. I love the place. I always have. I mean, I've been working there for, I don't know, a decade, maybe more. Love the place.
Well, so how long have you been doing comedy in general?
25 years.
Oh, wow. So a little while.
Yeah. I've been doing it long enough to where I can't quit now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm in too deep. Dairy Queen won't hire me back.
Yeah, well, they only hold your job for so long there. That's a cutthroat kind of company.
It really is. I got fired from the place. So
really, is there a good story to getting fired to Dairy Queen?
I hope it has something to do with not using the dip cone machine for the cones and dipping.
No, it's not. We're on the air.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but we're on the air.
We're barely aware of that usually.
So we're not going to use any euphemisms for dilly bar here.
Dilly.
Yeah, dilly.
I got fired. I really did. I got fired from the Dairy Queen. What they wrote down on my termination paper was unaccounted for frozen chocolate bananas.
That's even better than I thought it was going to be.
How did you get those out of there?
Well, it sounds like a joke, and it is, but this is what really happened. I had no clue that they had an inventory of frozen chocolate bananas. I didn't know. So in one shift of work, I put down 32 of them. I had youth and stamina and a goal. And I put a dent, and then another employee told me, we count all those at the end of the night. And I was like, oh, crap.
Well, that'll be easier.
32?
I put 30. Still to this day, I'm a grown man, and I'm proud of that number.
You should. That's worth getting.
That really is.
Right
to this day, you probably haven't had a Charlie horse since you.
Plenty of potassium in his youth.
Wow. Got it in reserves now.
Still running on it. Yeah, I was, I was laying in the cooler floor with banana sticks all around me.
That is awesome.
So this is what happened was I found out they had an inventory, right? So then I panicked because I don't want to lose the job, and so I replaced them with hot dogs.
Did you dip them in chocolate?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I would take a hot dog and I'd put it on the stick, and I'd dip that in chocolate and replace them. And you ever bitten into a frozen chocolate hot dog?
Oddly enough, I probably have. I've just been drunk, didn't remember.
Well, like you said, we're on the air. I can't really.
Yeah. We're on the air, so let's just say it pisses people off.
Yeah. Titus said he hasn't actually bitten into one, but he is familiar with them.
Yeah,
he's familiar.
He knows their work.
Nice.
I went to community college. I know what goes on.
You know what's up, yeah.
Stuart,
so I got fired for that. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man. This is Scotty Mays. You were at Wiley's in late December of 2015. Like I think it was the week before New Year's, and I was at your show, and I laughed so hard. You literally inspired me to get into comedy, and I'm
sorry.
I know it's okay.
His fault.
But seriously, like I haven't got to meet you in person since that show, but I just wanted to thank you for being there at the right place at the right time for me, because there's been a lot of life-changing things that's gone on with me, and you're part of that story, believe it or not. So I appreciate it, man.
Well, that's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah. I'm glad. And I'm glad you decided to take the plunge.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I still suck, but I'm growing, I'm still learning, so it's good.
That'll never end, so,
I think you just said you'll always suck.
The suckness will never go away. Once you stick a black hot dog in your mouth while you're at it.
Only if it's frozen and covered in chocolate.
If you, in my opinion, if you're doing it, if you're trying to really, search your soul and do comedy that means something to you, you're never going to perfect it. You're going to, which is good. You never want to feel like, okay, I'm done.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So, every time I think, oh, I like this, and then 6 months later, I'm like, why did I like that? That was horrible.
Right. Well, as long as my life is still a mess, I'm always going to have material for it. So that
you're always going to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine, Scotty. You're going to be fine.
Thanks, brother.
T-Bone says you will always have material. Well, that's who we have in the studio. We have Scotty Mays, Titus Wayne, and T-Bone over here. T-Bone is Scotty's Uber today. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
She's got to run him around everywhere.
And I'm going to have her breathe into a rag before we leave, and I'm taking her home with me.
Yeah. Does this
Well, that's not really Uber. I'm not dropping them off. That's just ooh. You're missing the last part of that, aren't
There's a very fine line between Lyft and human trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still working on some
Very
things.
fine line. Yeah.
So there's a lot of changes.
I do love Wiley's. I don't know. There's something about that room that I don't know. It's if you don't mind me saying so. I mean, it's a lot of clubs now are kind of have that corporate feel to them where everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't like that feeling. To me, comedy should be like an old jazz kind of smoky basement kind of feel to it. You know, we're gonna be in the dark and we're gonna say some stuff that you can't say out there on the street. You know, I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that feeling. You know, is that blood on the carpet? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's definitely Wiley's. We had the back doors open doing some filming in there of a movie we were involved in. And when we opened that back door and the sunlight hit that carpet, it was like, man, you can tell this stuff's been here since like the mid 80s. There are cigarette burns everywhere.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I just feel, God, I walk in there and I'm like, yes, this is it. You know, this is, I don't know. I don't need some big, huge green room with cantaloupe. What am I? I mean, that's it's just, you know, I mean, when there's exfoliating soap and so, jeez, you know.
Yeah, comedy's supposed to be a little dirty, I think.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
And we keep it there.
I love that. Yeah, I love the grungy feeling there. I love that. I mean, I feel at home every time I walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
More like a dive bar and less like a shopping mall.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's like the old trap houses I used to hang out in.
It was like, I don't remember this. I don't remember when this was. This was, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, something like that. But I had some guy. I was on stage. I had some guy. He tries to come up those stairs, you know, to get on stage, and he's mad at me. You know, I don't remember what I was doing, some religious jokes or something. He's furious, and he kicked a hole in the wall. And I was just laughing at him. So then anyway, like 12 months later, I go back. The hole's still in the wall. This is great, you know.
Yep, it's a memory.
Yes. It's like, I don't remember who it was, but some comic I was working with had a great joke. They said, I don't have any tattoos. I got scars. I don't need tattoos. I got scars, you know. And that's the way I feel about Wiley's. You don't need nice drapes, you know, on the carpet and a hole in the wall.
We got that.
Yeah.
We'll just cover it up with some blue paint. It'll be fine.
Yeah, cover it with a little blue paint. We actually did that when we did a film premiere in there, and when we pulled the screen off the wall, it took a whole bunch of paint with it. So there were some white patches in the blue wall for a while till we found the right paint.
You can still see the patches.
I love it.
If you look closely.
I love it.
Oh yeah, we keep it real. That's what.
Yeah, and I hope it always stays that way. You know, I hope it always has that character to it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, me and the other two owners, we have some plans to bring back the mural and bring back some of the way it used to be before some of it changed to try to go, I guess, somewhat corporate, which wasn't good, and we're going to try to bring some of the old feel back to it.
Good.
That is awesome.
I like that.
So
there's been so many great comics, you know, through the. I mean, it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Wiley's was the first comedy club in Ohio, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
First one in Ohio. I mean, it needs to stay, and it needs, you know. Yeah, I love the place.
We're glad to hear it, and we're glad to have you coming this weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I haven't seen you perform before, but I've been checking out some of your videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Oh, I can't.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too. I've been in Canada this month. I've been up north. I've been in Canada and Wisconsin and Minnesota. So it'll be good to be back in Dayton, where people when they're mad, they yell at you
instead of apologizing for being mad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm mad. Eh?
Don't you know?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
actually. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, the first time that I saw Stewart was, and it just reminded me, Super Dope Comedy Show. And it's Dan Seabury and Joe Robinette, fellow Dayton comedians' birthdays today. I wanted to say that. I don't know
It's
if you guys
Joe's, too. I didn't know it was Joe's. And I should know because I grew up with Joe. So.
Oh.
But I didn't know his.
Yep. Yeah, so happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to what you were doing. And I appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to seeing you at Wiley's this weekend.
Absolutely, and I hope to see you there, Scotty. You know, it'd be nice to talk to you face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you there.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care
guys.
now. Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Stewart Huff calling in. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and take a little break. I think since we were with softer music last break, we're going to have to Scotty's dying for some Potter's Field, I can tell. So we're going to have to play a little Potter's. Yeah, I don't.
Do you have any
your auctioneer voice ready?
Yeah. Potter's Field. We'll be back here shortly.
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker at Wiley's Comedy Club, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9. I swear to God.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, still sitting here with my guest co-host, Scotty Mays.
Hey.
Just looking forward to wrapping this up. Scotty is. I'm not. I wish it could go on
No,
forever.
me too. I mean, let's do it like Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Yep, there you go.
Telephone.
There you go.
Yeah, dated
T-Bone still sitting off to the side.
Hello.
Absolutely. And Titus Wayne. I didn't forget you. You look like you just get right past me.
No.
You saved the best for last.
Exactly.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, you're the important guest. This hour's all about you. Let's hit some news story.
Okay. This hour is all about you as we take a phone call and then hit some news story.
And there's only 20 minutes left.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, technically 10.
This 17,
As long as I get the last
all about-
5, it's fine.
It's all about you and these news stories.
Right.
Oh. Yeah. In a trend worthy of condemnation, people are apparently trying to stretch their dollars by reusing old condoms. It may be thrifty, but it's also dangerous. Very dangerous. That's why the Center for Disease Control and Prevention felt obliged to be proactive about the proper use of prophylactics. That's a tongue twister, being proactive about the proper use of prophylactics. And I did it.
I can't believe. Go just finish it.
The CDC released a tweet last week reminding people not to reuse or wash their rubbers. Unless they're British, then you got to wash your rubbers every now and then. Dr. Elizabeth Tyrone, an epidemiologist at the CDC's Division of STD Prevention, I'm never going to make it through this, said the people who reuse condoms are putting themselves at risk of being disgusting. Incorrect use, such as reusing a condom or using more than one at a time, which is sometimes feels necessary, diminishes the protective effects of condoms by leading to condom breakage, slippage, or leakage, which nobody wants breakage, slippage, or leakage.
No, not with people dumb enough to be reusing condoms.
Right, exactly.
Right. They don't
because
need
that's
to
gonna
reproduce.
Yes, that should be. Yeah, that should be the end of them. Their line should die out with them.
Right.
They should. If you improperly use one, there should be like it should be like a bear trap. If you try to use it again, it just clips you right off. Now, yep, I'm going to market the bear trap. They'll sell like crazy. A pregnant woman in Canada had a stomach-churning experience Sunday morning when she was served a latte filled with cleaning fluid. When a condom breaks, you got to do what you got to do. Sarah Douglas of Lethbridge, Alberta, was on her way to her son's baseball tournament. See, they were already too late. When she went to a McDonald's drive-thru for a latte. It wasn't until she was on the highway that she suspected something was wrong. She said, I immediately put on my hazard lights to pull over and spit out and rinse my mouth out with water. I opened the lid of the coffee and out pours this pungent smell of chemical. It wasn't a latte at all.
It was a latte.
Yeah, it was a latte latte. It was a latte gonna be pregnant no more. Douglas, who is 7 months pregnant with her third child, said the liquid in her cup was a watery brownish color, kind of like a latte.
You would think.
That wasn't in Florida. It wasn't maybe, Porta John guy.
That was in Canada.
The Canadian Plan
but
B.
It was at a McDonald's, and they do tend to get orders wrong a lot.
Yeah.
So that could have been what it is. They just
that's probably meant for the person behind her.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
There was a person behind her who was ordering the cleaning fluid.
Right.
I thought you said sanitizer. How did I get that wrong?
That is terrible. That's why I don't go to McDonald's. Because I don't want anything to damage this precious life growing inside of me. My body is a temple. Sure, the walls are expanded a little bit and the paint's peeling, but my body's still a temple.
It's hairy.
It's a Buddhist temple, but a temple nonetheless. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte oversaw the destruction of 68 smuggled luxury vehicles and motorcycles on Monday in the province of Luzon Island. Let me get to the next page, because there's more to this story. Duterte ordered the demolition as part of his government's anti-smuggling and corruption campaign, according to a press release. Government videos of the operation were posted to Facebook. The clips show large bulldozers driving over tops of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles, crushing them under its tracks. The vehicles had been smuggled into the country from the U.S. Their combined value was $5.5 million. Nothing on that one? Okay.
It's just painful.
Yeah.
Huh.
Since we have an Uber driver in here.
Yes.
An Amish man in Michigan is putting a new spin on ride sharing with his horse and buggy service that he has branded Amish Uber.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Giddy Up.
Yeah. I bet you did. Timothy Hochstedler of St. Joseph County said he started offering $5 rides in a horse-drawn buggy in the city of Cologne. No, this is Michigan. That's Colon. In the city of Colon, after learning about Uber, the app-based ride-sharing service. He said, Uber is a cool thing. Every single year something new comes in, and Uber's hot right now, so we have the Amish Uber. We can deliver people to their front doorsteps. Hochstedler, who is not affiliated with Uber, said most of his customers are tourists, but locals also enjoy his services and rides. Most of them are from Colon, but the Colon people, I just wanted to say Colon people.
The
Colon people have given me a few options like, would you give me a ride to Curly's? Or
It's a short ride.
It's
about a short and curly.
Short ride from Colon to Curly.
Just around the corner.
That's the name of this episode. Is from Colon to Curly. I couldn't even get all this.
So I how did the Amish guy hear about Uber to begin with?
On Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, on his smartphone.
Pigeon messenger. Somebody flew him a note.
And for
there's this new cool thing.
For $5 more, we'll let you use the butter churn.
That's a whole different service. What did I call it? From Colon?
From Colon to Curly.
That's killing me. It's been a long day.
Because right in between, we've got a big chocolate banana.
That might be the hardest I've seen you laugh in a long time, man. Congratulations.
It just takes a little colon and a little curly.
a little colon by the curlies there.
Man, I can't keep it together anymore. You're going to have to take over, Scotty.
Just tell me which button to push. I'll do it.
I wish that was the first time I've ever heard you say that. I'm going to take you from colon to curlies, boy. My dad used to threaten me with that all the time. Sometimes, Titus, we go out of control.
Oh, that's all right.
I got to get my composure back.
Okay.
This is totally unprofessional of me.
I could offer to do some material that usually sobers the room up.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I've heard. Every time I've seen you, you've been out of this world.
Little too emphatic. Yeah. First go there.
A team of domino enthusiasts in Germany said a Guinness record attempt involving more than 600,000 domino tiles was foiled by a mischievous fly.
Oh, I do.
And his name is Patrick Sinner. Patrick
They
Sinner.
named the fly? They named the
Why
fly?
not? Patrick Sinner,
thought it was
21 years
Brundle.
old, who leads a team of 20 people in
I thought
setting
their
up the
lifespan
dominoes
was
at a
24
gym
hours.
in Nida, said that the team's 2 weeks of hard work were ruined when a fly landed on a mini domino and set off a 600,000 strong chain reaction prematurely.
But it did look pretty cool, right?
I'm sure it did. I don't know if the fly lived through it, though.
Probably had a
Yeah.
domino fall on him and crush him.
Yeah,
Or
well,
he morphs into Jeff Goldblum and says,
He said the mini dominoes are easy to knock over as they are only about the size of a fingernail. Sinner and his team were still able to break Guinness records for largest domino wall, the largest spiral, and the largest domino cube.
the
This
largest
should be the one started by a fly.
Yep, and the smallest fly.
Who goes by Patrick?
Patrick Sinner. He's a sinner.
He's a sinner.
Sinner.
Little sinner. He stopped hanging around the curlies.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, from colon to curlies. Dang it, Scotty. This next, we're talking about heavy metal. This next story's for you. 2 elderly men escaped from a nursing home in Germany to attend a heavy metal festival.
Yes.
On Friday, police said. Nursing home officials discovered that the 2 men were missing and alerted police, who eventually found the men at Wacken Open Air, the largest heavy metal festival held every year since 1990 in Wacken. Perfect. Although police found the men disoriented and dazed, they didn't want to leave the concert. They obviously liked the metal festival. Spokesman Merle Neufeld told Merle Neufeld. That's a great name right there. Merle. Told German broadcaster, I'm not even
Come on, man.
Norddeutscher Rundfunk. I will show you that name, Norddeutscher Rundfunk. The care home quickly organized a return transport after police picked them up. The men reportedly took a taxi back to the nursing home along with a police escort. Norddeutscher Rundfunk.
Europe knows how to do
that
it,
was
though.
one of the bands.
It does sound like one of the bands.
Norddeutscher Rundfunk.
I thought that was the lyric to Rammstein.
Oh man, some of these stories are just killing me today. I think we're done with the news. We gotta promote shows coming up. Like for instance, Stewart Huff's going to be at Wiley's this Friday and Saturday.
Big deal.
You definitely have to go out there.
And Karen Jaffe.
Karen Jaffe is going to be featuring. I'm not sure who's hosting. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Somebody's going to be
But
hosting.
I think that's awesome.
Probably somebody.
It's going to be a great weekend at Wiley's.
Absolutely.
Everybody should get down there for sure.
I'm gonna try to be there for at least one of the shows.
You should.
Even though I think I just.
I mean, you do own the
think
club,
I'm
so it'd only be
around.
appropriate if you.
When did this happen? Oh. Scotty, you already said, Titus, you got any shows coming up anytime soon?
No.
Awesome. Scotty, you already went through yours. You want to hit them again?
Well, no, I don't. But I want to hit on that. There's a big rally coming up August 26th, the
August
FOA
26th.
rally, downtown Courthouse Square.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to see what recovery looks like, don't worry, it's not contagious. You're not going to catch anything.
Recovery's not contagious?
You know, I think it freaks a lot of people out because they think we're like Christians that judge people, but it's not like that.
It is the recovery part that freaks people out.
Yeah, because I think they think people in recovery think that they're self-righteous.
Not allowed to say anything about.
And it's not even like that. You know, I'm not going to just.
It's not a comedy show, but I will be DJing electronic music Saturday at Stage Door at 9 p.m.
We'll let you plug that. That's
okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Whatever you have going on, man, that's why we're here.
Cool.
It's the life, man. This is about the life.
If it's part of your life, we want to hear about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Not everything, but you know, stuff that you have going on.
I maintained my composure today. So
that's good. Well, yeah, we didn't have to talk about what we talked about Sunday. Which I don't think that needs to go out over the air because that's a very personal thing.
Yep.
T-Bone, you got any shows coming up?
Well, I'm performing at the Red Salon Saturday doing back to school hair. So
back to school hair.
Mm-hmm. School starts next Wednesday.
Is that a thing?
She's a stylist, man.
I do hair and makeup, so I'll be at the salon.
I've never gotten a back to school haircut.
Oh, it's a new thing. They have a lot of new things like back to school parties, apparently, end of school year parties. I think they're just coming up with reasons to do things that.
Well, yeah.
So
otherwise, life's boring if you don't have reasons to do things. Yeah. Most of my life, I've looked for reasons to do things.
Looking for reasons not to do something.
Yeah. I'm looking for reasons why I need to keep doing this. Actually, and
I'm like, it's raining. Can't I just stay in bed today?
Really? Yeah, I stubbed my toe. I should take off work. Reasons not to do things works as well as reasons to do things.
Absolutely.
You guys okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually agreeing with you.
Okay. Well, I couldn't see you.
I'd love to
nodding
stub my toe and not go into work.
Absolutely, that would be fantastic.
That's actually a good excuse for me tomorrow because I got to be.
There you go.
5 in the morning.
So. Yeah, I have to be back out at Jamestown by 7. So to do what we could have done today, I'd have just been there until now. so we'll come back. We'll come back. Because there's always a leak or a plumbing issue, or there's everywhere. From colon to curlies, there's
always a leak.
There's always a drip or a leak.
Always, yeah, something's always dripping.
Something
you got to keep it out of the curlies.
Always something needs to be sopped up or wiped clean.
Oh man,
chocolate sauce.
Yep, chocolate hot dog. It's.
What a great story.
I think we've had like 50 good names for this episode.
Yeah.
But
good luck, man.
Nothing beats colon to curlies.
It's always a pleasure to be able to come on here and do this show with you.
I'm really glad that Ed canceled.
Yeah. Thanks. Shout out to Ed. Thanks,
was
man.
that? Oh.
Yeah. Ed John was supposed to be my guest co-host. And, he let me know about 6 hours before the show he couldn't make it. So.
It's not even raining this time.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ed.
Well,
Wakanda forever.
He said he was going out of town.
So. Go buy the
like,
spark plugs.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, spark plugs.
Be seeing a spark plug dealer. Well, Scotty, thanks again for filling in and being so much better than Ed. And for bringing T-Bone, or vice versa, because you really brought him. So I appreciate that.
No problem.
Titus, it was good to have you on. We'll have you back sometime. You should get Facebook and just ignore everybody else.
Yeah.
And we'll get you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been fun. Yeah. So, and thanks Stewart Huff for calling.
Yeah. How awesome was that? That was cool.
Excited to see him this weekend.
Very cool.
Me too. I like I said, I hadn't really seen a lot of his material, and I started checking him out on YouTube, and really funny stuff.
Really, I think one of the smartest comedians working today.
Oh yeah. Some of his stuff was brilliant. I heard on there. So yeah, get out to Wiley's. Go to Wiley'sComedy.com. Get your tickets now before they're sold out. Otherwise, you'll be at the door, and we'll all be laughing at you and pointing and saying, "Yeah, you waited too long."
You hop on that bus and take it back to Colin Town to the short and curly.
He tried.
It was on the way. It's just I think you ended it prematurely. Sometimes,
well, I'm good at that.
Sometimes a trip from colon to curly's ends prematurely. Oh, my golly. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As always, I apologize, and we'll see you next week.
That.
This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence